Oh, here we go. You are listening to the only show where a former police officer, alongside a current law school student, tackle politics, the legal system, and corruption. The show known around the world as Qualified Immunity. Thank you, YouTube, for notifying me once again that I am live on my own channel.
In case you didn't know.
In case I didn't know,
Oh my gosh,
I'm live on my own channel. I can't deal with the amount of stupidity I see some days.
Are we just talking about?
Yeah, that's
YouTube,
well.
Are we also talking about
the idea that there's a plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan? Let's start there.
Who was that? That wasn't YouTube. Oh wow.
Oh no, it's not.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, you don't have to.
I mean, it was a very, very important question.
Oh. You mean mine?
No, the question somebody just asked me.
Oh, okay.
So divulge into the plot that was
the alleged plot.
The alleged plot.
Alleged.
Allegedly. You're such a lawyer.
Have you stopped shaving?
Ish. I haven't shaved for like a day now.
You growing the beard back? No.
No.
No. Just lazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Just curious. I just noticed that you were, hairy. Like more hairy than you used to.
Thank
Wow,
you.
That came out weird. So, Michigan's Governor Whitmer, is that?
Yeah, something like that. Governor Dumbass.
Alleged plot by, I think it was 6 individuals to, I'm not even sure what that plot actually was. They're going to kidnap her and...
They're going to kidnap her, try her for treason.
Yeah, I heard about that. Forgot about that part. Try her for treason in what I assume was that YouTube again?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was Facebook Messenger. Somebody asked me a very important question. I wanted to know if the Dodgers game was on TV tonight.
That's the important question. See, when you said it was an important question, part of
it is if you're a diehard Dodgers fan.
If.
Which I am what?
See, you said it was an important question, and part of me went, oh, hey, I wonder if they need legal advice. And the other half of me went, oh, I'm not allowed to give that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't ask. I'm kind of mad now that I didn't ask, because then you would have said.
Yeah, it was a question of if the Dodgers and... Why are you staring? I'm a diehard Dodgers fan, and the Dodgers are playing right now.
The really fun part is they can see your screen.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. There's a reason that I position the way I do, because I don't want them to see me watching them watch us on YouTube. That was really weird way to explain.
Yeah, that was a really awkward way to explain that.
So Governor Whitmer,
if they zoom in, they can actually see my screen. I will tell you what's on my screen right now. It is literally the Dodgers game. Okay. The score of the Dodgers and Padres game. And then I switch over to make sure we're still recording, and then...
Yeah, I don't even have to zoom in. I just have to go full screen. I can see pretty much what you're doing. Oh, yeah, you just switched.
Yeah, there's a slight delay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep, there you go again. I'm waiting for that one to come through. Yeah, so you're gonna try her for treason.
Try it for treason, like
what I'm guessing.
Banana
record.
Yeah, banana republic kind of thing.
No, not even that, because these aren't government officials. They're.
Define government.
What was the? Is it Lysander Spooner that said a bandit thieves need only declare themselves a government and their thievery is legal.
Yeah.
I mean, if they declare themselves a government, I guess we're basically back to 1776, which whatever.
I wasn't gonna go there, but I almost went there because I was like,
I mean, I give our founding fathers a little bit more credit than I probably give these guys. No.
A couple of them maybe.
At least the founding fathers had a little bit of a PR machine.
Yeah, it was called Patrick Henry.
And Thomas Paine.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't call Patrick Henry a PR machine.
Thomas Paine was just crazy.
Yeah, but he was good crazy and very public about being good crazy. I mean, I'm crazy about him.
The definition of that depends on what you call good crazy.
See, I've got you saying it depends
now. Valuable versus vulnerable. It depends. No, what they really were going to try and do was, good job, Lurch.
Yeah. You're not the only one that calls me that.
It's because I've seen you play basketball.
No, you've seen me shoot hoops before. When I play basketball, I knock people down.
It's not 1989, and this is not the Detroit Pistons. What they're really trying to do is they were trying to V for Vendetta something, and I get it. There's a lot of similarities of V for Vendetta to real life. However, that does not mean you can go make V for Vendetta real life. It's a Hollywood movie.
All of these militia guys.
Oh my god.
Are they? Is that what we're calling them? I don't know what to call them.
That's what the press called them. But the problem is when you look, I actually retweeted this today.
I mean,
the redhead libertarian.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That tweeted out the whole "I have questions" and I retweeted it because he has a anarchist flag.
Yeah.
Like at that point, you're not a militia, at least under the color of the law.
Yeah. Because you're disorganized.
Yeah, you're disorganized. The problem is Scalia, and
see that right there. That's what I love to hear.
The problem is Scalia.
Yeah.
The problem is Scalia, and I understand why he did it. In the Heller case, was the militia became the individual, that therefore the individual's rights to keep and bear arms was protected. However, what that turned into was now the militia no longer has to be organized because the Supreme Court said an individual can qualify as a militia. And for all those I just confused the ever living shit out of. I apologize. However,
it made sense to me. I mean,
during law school,
yeah, I was tracking. So, what?
Nothing.
Tracking?
Yeah.
You've never heard that before?
Yeah, but
not from me.
Not from you.
Okay. I'm smelling what you're stepping in. Is that a little bit?
That's better.
Okay, there you go.
But that really does. It turns into one of those deals of going, I understand why Scalia wrote the opinion the way he wrote the opinion, because he used the back door to protect the individual, to keep and bear arms. However, when it opened up unintended consequences,
don't.
What?
No, that was a yawn.
That was not a yawn.
Don't pretend like that didn't happen.
I was taking a big breath. What Scalia accidentally did was now militia to be charged in court doesn't have to be organized. It doesn't have to be a group because he qualified the individual as the militia.
Right.
It's a catch-22. Like the actual problem is, and I'll say this, they were set up.
Oh yeah. Now that was a yawn.
Okay, that was a yawn.
That wasn't even like casual. That was.
Hey, it was off screen. Nobody saw it.
Was it off screen? Let me go back and check the record.
Let the record reflect. That was off screen.
It was off screen.
Yeah.
Actually. Nice.
But the problem was these guys were set up.
Yeah.
And I see the last time they did this was I think 2010. The FBI did something like this in 2010 too.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
and around the same area of the country, and it ended up being like most of it got thrown out.
Yeah.
The trick was they possessed fully automatic firearm. They possessed a machine gun. Like they got them on weapons charges
illegally.
Yes.
You can
yes,
legally
yes. They did not have a tax stamp.
Yeah.
They failed to pay the king for the permission for their bang bang. That they paid for. And probably built on their own. Whatever. Had ingenuity, cool, but
I wouldn't call that ingenuity. That's just, garage mechanics.
I'm glad you know how to do it.
I mean, I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure I could. I mean,
I have no idea how to do it.
It's not that hard.
But what that turned into was they ended up dropping most of the charges, got them on a couple of weapons charges because they charged them with sedation in 2010.
Yeah.
And then that turned into at least one of them was found not competent to stand trial.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Well, and what you see in a lot of these,
which is a tough standard.
That is an impossible standard.
It's hard to be judged incompetent.
That is a freaking impossible standard to be judged incompetent to stand trial. And what people don't understand about that is, oh well, everybody pleads, insanity.
No, it's really hard to do that.
You can plead it all day long.
I've seen people with confirmed IQs probably around 80
that are competent to stand trial.
That were judged competent.
Well, and that's what people don't understand. And in a federal court, it's even harder.
We actually had the guy tested, and he had an IQ of around 80, which is too low to be in the military.
Yeah, it is. My crutch word tonight. You know what it's like. But you've got this moment of time of the standard to be held, the standard in which incompetence, the standard you have to get to be held too incompetent to stand trial is insanely high.
Insanely high. Sorry.
And it's even higher in federal court than it is in state court. I'm telling you, it's the hum in my ear. It's got to be. Because you've been around me for an hour before we went.
Yeah.
We got on air. Okay, 2 hours. Whatever.
And a half.
Whatever.
Okay.
And I didn't yawn the entire time.
True, I don't think you did.
I'm telling you, it's the hum in my ear.
Maybe it's a placebo effect. Although, placebo effect means it's working.
But when you get to that moment in time of where you're no longer competent to stand trial, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And not competent to stand trial in a federal court on sedition charges is huge. And the judge even reprimanded the federal prosecutor at the time for even bringing the charges.
Well,
now granted, that's 2010. It's a different story. It's a different whatever. But the playbook stayed the same. Confidential informants set up by undercover federal agents, yada 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 yada. And a couple of years ago in Oklahoma City, the feds set up a mentally ill man to rob a bank or blow a bank?
If I remember correctly, that you're talking about Oklahoma City.
Yeah, the bank first.
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a bank first at Rockwell and Expressway.
If I remember correctly, he was actually planning to blow up the bank with a truck bomb. Which in Oklahoma City is kind of a. If you're going to do that anywhere, don't do it.
Don't do it in Oklahoma City.
But it came out that like 2 or 3 federal.
Oh yeah, like it was totally set up, and he was super. And this is not. We're not talking like on the line of mentally ill. He was.
I think he actually had a history of treatment.
Yes, he did.
And stop going. And sorry, I'm just gonna call you out every time you do it.
I know.
I don't remember what came out of that case, but it was.
I don't know if it's been settled yet.
I think it has, but I don't know for sure. What not?
It was like you're gonna look it up.
I'm gonna have to look it up
because that was that moment of time of he was legitimately I don't know a better way to say this, a barely functioning adult.
Yeah, it was obvious to me that the federal agents had basically set him up.
Yeah. But the question at that moment becomes, did the feds know that, or was it all, I don't know. Was it all run through?
Was that last year?
No way.
Oh, no, they convicted him last year.
Oh, he got convicted?
This guy?
Yep.
Yeah. AP reports jury convicted man in Oklahoma City federal bomb plot trial, February 25th, 2019.
Wow. I can't believe they took that to trial.
Explosives laden van outside Oklahoma City Bank. Federal jury ruled Monday. And that was...
Wow.
Over 18 months ago.
What did he get? Does it say?
He did not guilty. Claimed he was entrapped, which that is basically entrapment. Parents testified that he was a paranoid schizophrenic who had been in several mental hospitals.
I can't believe it. Well, and then that becomes the question of, was he serious, paranoid schizophrenic or not?
At the time of this article, he hadn't been sentenced yet. So...
That's interesting to me.
He was convicted?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised too.
No, it's interesting to me they even took it to trial.
I'm surprised that a jury actually convicted him.
Federal jury. Totally different ballgame.
True. 25 years in prison.
Wow!
I mean, if you take out all the...
I really want to know the behind-the-scenes plea deals.
Yeah.
Like, I really do want to know what behind the scenes if he was offered a plea deal.
Arrested in 2017.
Yep. Yeah.
Local bank in Oklahoma City.
It was a bank first at Rockwell and MacArthur. And Expressway.
Bank first. Yeah, downtown.
Wow. That's insane.
Actually, just a few blocks from where the 1995 bombing was.
That wasn't the original target, though. That's not where they arrested him at.
You mean the bank?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Wow, that's insane. Anyway, I digress. Back to Michigan. It's called Michigan for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Tim McVeigh came from Michigan.
Yeah.
And I know that's a touchy subject in Oklahoma, but Tim McVeigh came from Michigan. The problem is, and I'm not saying Tim McVeigh was his own deal. Like, that's totally separate. The problem is, since Tim McVeigh, the feds have had a bad habit of giving people enough rope to hang themselves with, which is, it's not entrapment. By the letter of the law, it's not.
No, but I'm really
morality versus legality.
Yeah, I'm really shocked the jury in that case actually convicted him. Because, I mean, if I'm on that jury, no way. That's the other thing. If I know everything about it, which is possible the jury didn't, because a lot of
his parents testified.
True.
I'm just saying, like, the feds have a habit of saying, like, I can't wait to figure out how this one goes, or watch where this one goes, because 2010 was close to the same thing, and they basically tossed that out.
Yeah.
And then this guy gets arrested in 17, convicted in 19, gets 25 years.
Well, and there was a little bit of shady federal activity in the McVeigh case as well, because there was some lady informant.
Yeah,
I don't
vaguely remember those.
I don't remember exactly what the deal was there. I want to say she actually told, I don't know if it was the FBI or who, that, hey, there's something going down. It's probably going to happen in late April. And if I remember correctly, the response was basically, oh, okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I can see them saying that. Well, do you have any concrete proof? No. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Like, hey, whatever. Like, whatever. Meanwhile, on top of all of this,
Well, and there's the phone call to the Justice Department
On top of all of this,
Sorry.
you tinfoil hat jackass. Like, are you gonna start wearing it on air? Not everything's a conspiracy.
Oh no, I think I know who made the phone call. I think Terry Nichols made the phone call.
I can see that. I don't understand how Terry Nichols didn't get the death penalty.
I don't know.
Anyway, I digress. In the middle of all this, in the middle of the idea of a militia making plans to kidnap the governor of our tyrannical state, to try her for treason, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, comes out today and says tomorrow they're going to be discussing invoking the 25th Amendment.
Wait, what? Was that on Twitter? Where was this?
Fox News.
Oh, well, that's why I didn't see it.
And Twitter. And it's everywhere.
I was in class all day. Like, I was actually in class from 9 to, 4.
Huh.
I've been with you for the last 3 hours. Don't look at me like I've had a whole bunch of free time.
I am your free time. I'm your intellectual stimulation. I didn't say you had standards. But today, the Speaker of the House talks about invoking the 25th Amendment. And in case you do not know, the 25th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States removes the president from power under certain circumstances.
You live in interesting times.
Do we?
That's starting to sound a lot more like a curse than a blessing.
We keep saying it. However, if the president, read word for word the 25th Amendment.
Give me just a second here.
Tell your girlfriend you'll call him back. Besides, why is Wednesday texting you on Thursday?
Actually, that's Friday. Thank you.
And people judge me.
Oh, there we go. Oh, National Constitution Center. That's reputable, right?
Yeah. New York Times reputable.
In case of the removal of the president from office or of his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president.
Mm-hmm.
Section 2. Whenever there is a vacancy in the office of vice president. Oh, I didn't know that was in there.
Yeah.
I don't look at this one very much.
Continue.
Whenever there is a vacancy in the office of vice president, the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take office upon confirmation by a majority vote of
the Senate.
Both houses of Congress.
Oh my God.
Section 3. Whenever the president transmits to the president pro tempore. How do you pronounce that? Pro tempore?
I just say pro temp.
Pro temp. Well, it's in the Constitution. It's not we're going to just say pro temp. Whenever the president transmits to the president pro tem of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of the Representatives his written declaration that he is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, and until he transmits to them a written declaration to the contrary, such powers and duties shall be discharged by the vice president as acting president. So
the theory behind it is Pelosi says that Donald Trump is unfit to execute the powers of the president, to execute the office of the president of the United States due to the medication that he is prescribed, due to the fact that he had COVID-19. What?
I mean, there's a section 4, but I didn't. That's like a half to 2/3 of a page, so I'm not going to read that. I mean,
I'm just saying, if we're to this point now, like, y'all are 3.5 years too late. Anyway, continue.
So, several months ago, when the president started self-medicating, this is basically what I said. I said, you really shouldn't be self-medicating, which he had doctors prescribing, but let's be honest, who's going to deny the president drugs? When he started basically self-medicating.
Somebody with morality? Sorry.
In Washington?
True, continue.
When he basically started self-medicating, this is basically what I said. I said, this really isn't a very good idea. I mean, side effects of what you're taking. This isn't a good idea.
I want to say you said that on air.
I may have. I don't know.
Like one of those, hey, don't do that. You're giving them ammo.
Yeah. Well, and whether or not you actually discover the side effects, I want to say one of the side effects of hydroxychloroquine actually involves
mood swings,
very mild mood swings, which, say whatever you want to, but that is a mental effect.
Yeah, it's
a drug.
It's a, how do I put that? A mental disparity?
Yeah.
I call it float off center.
Okay, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
I mean, it's a super slang term. It's my slang term, but if I have a side effect, I'm like, hey, this makes me kind of float off center.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Half a bubble off.
Yeah. I mean, that's you're not level. You're half a bubble off. But people that don't understand construction might not get that. This makes me float off center. Well, that turns into, is the president to the point that he is medicated in such an aspect where it causes him to float off center or become half a bubble off or not be 100% confident in the ability to execute the powers of the President of the United States? Nobody can honestly answer that question.
Yeah.
You can't. But now, the problem is, you've got a bunch of people in Michigan that just got set up by the feds and arrested for wanting to kidnap the governor for tyranny or treason or whatever the idiots were in charge them with. On the same day, Nancy Pelosi decides she wants to walk in, not with gasoline, not with diesel, but with a fucking pound of C4 and a blasting cap and toss it on top of it and be like, yeah, we might remove the president because according to my Grey Goose sunrise this morning, he might not be competent. Which, you're talking about them doing this in the middle of a Senate confirmation hearing for Supreme Court Justice, in which only 3 Republicans needed to defect, and I'm pretty sure they've already got 2.
The side effects are actually worse than I imagine. Or worse than I remember.
That's because it's for the measles.
So, mood or mental changes is one of the side effects. Drowsiness, convulsions, decreased consciousness or loss of consciousness.
Hey, the convulsions would explain it to me.
Here's the really fun one. Thinking about harming or killing yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's just what I need. Somebody's suicide. Like, at this point, you can be drunk. I'd rather you be drunk with a nuclear football than suicidal with a nuclear football.
I mean, it's just like every other president we've had.
Yeah.
And I'm not... These are pretty extreme side effects. You're probably not going to experience these if you're taking hydroxychloroquine. However, if you're president of the United States, I really don't want there to be an increased chance of these.
However, if you're president of the United States, you're already narcissistic
Megalomaniac.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Megalomaniac. If you're president of the United States, you're already narcissistic megalomaniac anyway, and you probably have sociopathic tendencies to get to that point in your career. Just saying.
It's a prerequisite.
It's got to be. You have to be narcissistic, somewhat sociopathic, if not psychopathic, to just absolutely decide in one moment in time you want to dick over the entire country. That's every president since 1963. You may go down the list.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to go down the list. Then you might actually be right.
I'm just saying. LBJ, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan.
I always forget about LBJ.
Bush Senior, Clinton, Bush Jr., Obama.
I think it's an attempt to repress memory.
What, LBJ?
Yeah.
I will never forget
I
LBJ.
don't want to think about it.
That's what I said since 1963. Since November 22nd, 1963, every one of them have been a narcissistic sociopath.
I had a professor in college who he would always give us career advice, and he advised, if you ever need something to put on your resume from 1976 to 1980, just put down that you're president of the United States, because nobody else wants to remember that. Nobody else will actually say, no, you weren't, because nobody else, they're trying to forget.
Why does everybody try and forget Nixon?
76? That's Carter.
Oh, sorry, Carter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nixon was
68 to 72 and 72.
Yeah, the 73 or 74.
I want to say it was 72 to 72, and then Ford. He resigned right after he won.
Yeah, you're right.
So it was 68 to 72, and then 73 to 73. And then Ford was 73, 74, 70, yeah.
Yeah, Nixon was 69 to 74.
Oh, he lasted a whole year.
Well, yeah, you have to investigate.
True. The funny part is, people loved Nixon.
Yeah.
They did, man. People loved Nixon.
The man just could not get in front of the camera, though.
Yeah, but if anybody walks out and does this,
yeah,
like you know it.
Yeah.
It's just name something Ford did that was memorable.
Well, and there's also I'm trying to think how to phrase that. People like winners, and there's a certain confidence that you have to have, and if you've got it, people just love it. People like winners.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's another piece of advice that same professor gave us.
Yeah, and I mean, the funny part is, so Trump is not going to debate in the next debate because it was going to be virtual only. He will be the first president since Nixon to
How ironic
to refuse to debate.
Well, and it's kind of funny because for a long time I thought Biden's going to refuse to debate because he had COVID.
That's basically what happened.
Well, yeah, except Biden said, "I'll debate you if," and then Trump was like, "I'm not taking those conditions." Is that basically?
Yeah, basically what. Yeah. Well, no. What happened was it was one of those. Biden was like, "I'll debate you if something," and then the Commission on Presidential Debates came out and said, "Well, the next one's going to be virtual."
Yeah.
And Trump's like, "I'm not doing that. I'll hold a rally." Like, hold on. You want me to be in a Zoom meeting, or do you want me to have a massive fundraiser where a bunch of nationalists run into an arena and buy a bunch of crap that is overpriced that says "Make America Great Again" or "Keep America Great," or buy T-shirts or donate money?
I remember when I looked into buying one of those hats, I found them on online somewhere.
eBay, Amazon.
They are so expensive.
Like $40 a piece.
I'm not paying that much for a hat.
Yeah, no, like there's some knockoffs out there that.
And you know how cheap I am.
Yeah,
like
you got a Jew for a reason.
Okay, whatever.
Jewish people are cheap. You got to be part Jewish. I'm convinced.
Really?
Dude, the whole throwing a nickel down to see if you'd pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, I am cheap.
I don't call you cheap. I don't think you're cheap. I think you're conservative.
Okay.
I don't think you're cheap.
Frugal.
Yeah, okay, that's a better word.
Yeah.
Like cheap, I don't know. Cheap is I'm cheap.
I'll just tell you about that off air.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
There's a religious joke in there. Frugality, community, obesity.
Yeah, I can see where that joke will go. But you've got this idea that the president's incapable. And see, the people that don't know the story behind Nixon debating is, I think it's ironic.
You're talking about the Kennedy debate?
Yep.
Where
it's the entire reason he wouldn't debate in 68 and then wouldn't debate in 72. Because
he was terrible on camera.
Because he was terrible on camera.
He was also sick, that's the story that he was sick in. Was it 60?
In 60 when he debated Kennedy?
Yeah, that would have been 60.
Yeah.
The story is that he was sick, and that's why he looked so terrible on camera. I think, because I've actually talked to people that knew Nixon personally, and they said that he could not stand pressure of being in front of a crowd, of being on TV.
That's so crazy when you're running for president of the United States.
I know. Like, how do you get that far and not be able to do that?
And not, I don't know.
But they said you bring a camera out, he would freeze up and he would start sweating.
No way.
And they said that's probably why he got skewered so bad over Watergate, is because he just looked guilty all the time.
True, I could see that.
And that
was the beginning of the television era.
Yeah, and to fair, I mean, he did kind of cover things up a little bit. Which
Oh, come on.
I don't think he was in on the original deal. I do think that he was absolutely
complicit.
Yeah. I don't think he had any problem covering it up, which is an issue. That's a
But
issue.
that's politics.
Yeah.
It's like you said earlier, morality in Washington.
Yeah. I expect nothing more from the president.
Yeah, like you just don't. I don't care what party it is. You expect the president to cover things up that are going to make him look bad.
Yeah.
Honesty.
That's just modern politics.
Honesty and a 202 area code do not go together. It's like Pelosi right now. She's invoking the 25th Amendment when she can't even remember who the president is half the time. I mean, I'm sorry. And if you want to blame it on, her vodka sunrises at, from 7 to noon, and then her tequila sunrises from noon to 4, and then her, nightly bourbons that start at probably 4:15. I don't care if you want to blame it on that. I don't care if you want to blame it on age.
Well, even if you do want to blame it on that,
or a combination of all the above.
You're supposed to be running the country, and you're drunk all the time.
That's probably politics. That's
yeah, I know, but
another different issue in politics.
Just because it's normal doesn't mean that's the way it should be.
No, okay, that's true. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I don't expect more, but I feel like I should.
No, you do. You expect more. You just know better.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just too cynical.
No, I don't think you're too cynical. I think it's you understand the reaction of human behavior, and you've been to Washington.
Yeah.
How many times have you been there? In a political capacity, how's that? You've never been there in political capacity?
I don't think so.
Not for a summit, not for a rally, not for anything?
No.
Ooh. Go in a political capacity. I mean, you it's interesting. I'll put it that way.
I hate it enough as it is.
It's interesting. If you enjoy watching the dynamic of human behavior, it's interesting. And
well,
the problem becomes, used to be people would be civil with each other even if they disagreed.
See, that's the thing. I enjoy people watching. But watching.
Oh my god! Some of the rooms I've been in,
watching human behavior. Humans are destructive. Like it's.
Yeah, humans are naturally destructive.
I don't know. I can only watch so much of that.
Well, the problem is you get something like Pelosi, whether you want to blame it on alcoholism or being senile or just being a dumbass, you're stoking the flames for conflict that are going to end up with people getting killed.
True. Yeah.
And you are.
And for those of you who are probably defending Pelosi watching this right now, you're probably saying, "Oh, she's not that bad. Go watch some of her press conferences."
No, and the thing about it, Pelosi is 10 years ago she wasn't that bad.
Yeah. That's the thing about most of Washington 10 years ago.
There's a lot of Congress that is senile.
Yeah. Well, we talked about someone the other night through text message that
Oh yeah, 100%.
I have seen this particular person who is older.
Doesn't know what room they're in.
I have seen him give. I've seen him give the same speech, I think 4 different times over the course of at least 3 years, probably 4 years. I mean, it's the same speech every time, and I think part of that is because he doesn't know who he's talking to anymore. Like, he doesn't know where he is.
I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. Because people laugh at me, and the irony is on my ballot in November, all 3 parties will have somebody checked on it. I said that in a group message that you were in the night, and it was like, I was honestly stunned that the other person didn't say anything. Like,
oh, what was it they said? Oh yeah. They said something, and you said, "Go listen to the podcast."
I was like, I literally just talked about this.
We talked about that last night.
Like the night before. Like
you said, "Go listen to the podcast," and she was like, "Why?" I
was like, "Cause I literally just we literally spent an hour on that, like less than 12 hours ago. Like I'm not gonna rehash the entire. Like I almost just sent a link to the episode.
You should have. actually.
Like, I'm going to start doing that when it comes up with something we've talked about in the last 72 hours, and other people are like, oh, yeah, what about this? I'm just going to start linking the episode. Like, it's an hour.
Yeah. I mean, I could listen to all of our... I have enough drive time to and from class that I could listen to all of our content. I'm not going to because I hate listening to myself.
See, and I'm over here and I listen to at least a quarter of every single episode just to make sure.
I can watch just fine. I mean, I do that all the time, but I can't listen to myself. It bothers me to listen to my own voice. I don't know why.
And you're in the movies?
I didn't have a speaking part, so it's fine. I can watch, but I can't listen.
I kind of want to see if my part gets cut out of that.
It's really sad. I'm half expecting that my part actually does. But
I'm in a couple such pivotal scenes though.
True. You're not getting cut.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna get cut. I don't think I'm gonna get cut, but I'm like one of those. Can you even see me?
They just like doctor the frame, so you're like,
yeah, exactly. You doctor the frame, and it's like, you bastards.
You want to go see it in the theater?
You can find one that's open and doesn't make me wear a mask. Sure.
I wonder if it'll actually be in theaters instead of like just direct streaming or whatever.
It's probably gonna be direct streaming, which is really gonna make me mad because it was my big screen debut.
Not gonna be on the silver screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the LED one, LCD one, whatever TVs are now.
Flat screen. They're all flat screens. Do you remember when flat screen was like a big deal?
Yeah.
Like, oh, flat screen.
Yeah.
I still have it.
And we're not talking about like the thin.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the TVs you have
like
now.
That thick at least.
You're talking about no.
Yeah.
I remember when 60-inch like took 3 people to move in, but they were flat screens.
You're talking about the projector TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were flat screens.
Yeah, I remember those.
And because they didn't have that glass bezel to them.
And you know who the last person was to always get rid of those?
Who?
Churches.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Church,
that's not true.
Church
I got 2 of them from a church.
That's also true. I do still have a tube TV because it has a VCR on the bottom. And
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason I keep that thing around.
Because I was like, we got 2 of them donated to us from churches when they went to like Plasma or whatever it was at the time, and we had them set up in our living room playing Xbox on them.
Yeah.
2 of them side by side. Yeah, it was a college nightmare.
Good times. College was good times. I miss college.
You're still in it.
No, this is different. I don't live on campus anymore. This is different.
I don't miss college.
I do.
Not one bit.
There's a little responsibility. I miss that.
See, I never had that.
You never had that?
Responsibility? No, the lack thereof.
I mean, I had jobs in college, but it was like, if I get fired, big deal.
Yeah, no, I never had that. I never had that moment in time. It was just like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Like 2 weeks out of my life, 3 weeks out of my life.
That was me 5 days a week in college.
In all honesty, it was one 4 or 5 day trip in my entire life. So I'm like, yeah, screw it, whatever, I don't care.
Something that hasn't changed. Well, I mean, it changed when I had a job. That this happened in college, and now it's happening again now that I'm in law school. Sunday rolls around, it's like, oh crap.
Oh crap.
And then that definitely just continues until like Monday evening or Tuesday evening, and it's like I get everything done and ready, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, now we're good.
I'm set for the week, and then I can just screw off the rest of the week. Man. We're
Dude, it's this show. It's Run Center Rebel. This is what happens when we record this late.
Nancy Pelosi, 25th Amendment.
They're gonna try to remove the president from office.
Mike Pence takes over. We don't know who becomes vice president. I don't know if I.
Yeah, you went over it. He has to appoint somebody, but has to be confirmed by by both houses of Congress, which isn't gonna happen.
Yeah. Who? Okay. So if you're
Lindsey Graham.
Oh yeah, actually, he's probably one of the very few who would be confirmed. Yeah. And if you're Mike Pence, Lindsey Graham is actually it. That choice makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is all assuming that the president is actually removed from office, which
I don't know. I don't know. They're determined to remove him from office, which almost makes me want to like him.
Strategically.
Except he's such an asshat.
Strategically, if you're playing chess, this is actually a very smart move. But
does it backfire?
What there's a saying: Plan A never survives first contact with the enemy. Is that the saying? That's the saying, right? Yeah.
Plan A. No, it's well, that's a twist off of it.
Oh, okay.
No plan ever survives first contact.
That's what it is. I mean, this strategically, if you're playing chess,
Murphy's laws of combat.
Yeah, this is a really good idea. I can't believe that this is actually going to work out. I mean,
I can't either.
I don't think this is going to happen.
Like, it won't work out because Pelosi's doing it.
And the other thing is, it's possible that this is just a diversion tactic. Stop yawning.
I haven't gone in like 40-something minutes.
True. Have we been on the air that long?
Yeah, 46.
Oh yeah.
See,
46 minutes. The other thing is, this could just be a diversion tactic.
I agree. I agree.
There might be something
else. The
else.
problem is you're stoking a fire that's going to get people killed.
Yeah. I mean, it's this kind of
propaganda that gets radicals involved that turns into an issue. Sorry. I just... Both sides are stoking this flame of, rah, take down the other side, and you're going to get people killed.
Sorry, you said radicals in that part of your reference, and I'm trying to get that out. Yeah.
Like, you just... Oh.
You okay there? Are you yawning yet?
Nope.
That was off screen too.
Yeah, it was.
Good job.
I'm stuck in this moment of time. Like, why does everybody want all their peons to start shooting at each other? I'm confused about this. Please, somebody explain to me why you all want your peons to start shooting at each other. Divine confidence. What?
What's the saying? History doesn't repeat. It rhymes. Is that?
Yeah. History never actually repeats itself. It just rhymes.
Fall of the Roman Republic into the Empire. This is...
Yeah.
Thousands of people were being killed right after elections during that time. I mean, you'd have an election go on, just one side would just murder the other.
Yeah.
Thousands of people.
And now we have, civility and gunpowder.
Gunpowder and electronics. I'm more scared of electronics than I am.
We are moments away from being set back 300 years as a country. Maybe not in technology. Maybe not in technological advancement. Maybe you'll still have running water and a running toilet and electricity. Maybe not that. But politically wise, you are on the verge of being set back 300 years with the rhetoric that keeps getting thrown around like talking points because everybody's bullshit is going to add up and tumble over. And that's when you get headed for some very, very dark times. And I have a bunch of Republicans that will disagree with me when I say this. I've got a bunch of Democrats would agree more, but I have a bunch of people on both sides that will disagree with me when I say this. There is not a good option for President of the United States who has a viability to win. There's not.
I mean, at least the Democrats are willing to admit that. I'm settling for Biden.
No, and most of them, if you talk to them, like, yeah, we're settling for Biden, but we got Harris. There's a lot of them that are like that.
Yeah.
Harris is the closest thing they're going to get to Bernie. That's not Bernie.
You think so?
Yes. Who else was there? Elizabeth Warren couldn't do it.
Oh, you mean as far as winning? I thought you meant as far as ideology.
Ideology with a viability to win. Harris is there.
Yeah, I see.
It's chess.
Well, I mean, Bernie and Kamala are not. They're nowhere near each other on ideology. I don't think.
No, because Bernie's an ideologue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
He is.
I'm not sure Harris is not.
The problem with Harris is socialist too, but she's a fascist socialist.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Harris is more fascist, and Bernie is more.
Harris was a prosecutor that put people in prison for the thing she wants to repeal now.
Yeah.
Ah.
Which is funny to me because
it's not funny to me. It's politics.
Well, not funny.
Ironic.
Funny, sad, not funny at all. I mean, you talk about tough on crime. Democrat isn't what I think of.
But they are.
They are.
You step out of line in a democratic world,
yeah,
you're gonna hear it. Tell them where they can find you on social.
I'm on the Twitter at the Lucas Cohen. Do you want the tagline now or later?
No, you can do that. I'm on everything else. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. At Greg Gangle. GREGJ. Now, screw the tagline.
I think we need to get you a list like written down so you like just have to read it off. It's like the same.
Oh yeah, this podcast is also brought to you by the fact that we are on every single thing.
Pretty much. So, somebody asked me like where to find it the other day because
Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Overcast, Anchor, plus 93 others.
They asked me where to find it. And I was like, well, you can find it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and they were like, which one is the best? I was like,
it doesn't matter.
Pick one. They're all the same.
You have an iPhone or Android?
He was like, no, really, which one? I was like, Spotify. He was like, well, what's the next best one? Because I don't have that. I was like,
Apple Podcast.
It's like that old joke, like, where do you want to eat?
I don't know.
Well, how about this place? No,
I don't know.
What's next best?
Yeah. That's almost like being married.
Vote bold, vote gold. JoJo 2020.
Stop stoking the fires of animosity, because the fires of animosity only lead to destruction of the thing we have tried so hard to build. With that being said, fall for nothing, question everything, and be prepared for anything. Till next week, till Valhalla. Bye, y'all. Bye.